We are live 364 days a year. What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I've told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made with YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How do you not get 50 after Monday Night Raw?
What's going on, everyone? It is your boy Shad Talks Graps, and we are back with another installment of the Wrestling Republic daily broadcast. Man, oh man, oh man. We have ourselves a Monday Night Raw to review. This was an amazing show. This was a show where a lot happened. We got a lot of answers. We got some resolutions. Whether we like it or not, I don't know. 2 title matches. We're going to break it all down. I can't do this by myself, man. I got a very, very star-studded cast. You know I can't do Tuesdays without the guy like to bother the most. Jordy in the bank, how are you, brother?
I'm back. I'm good, mate. I had a week off last week because why did I have a week off? I was at work. I was in Belfast. I was on an event. Every now and again, my real life job takes me away from the podcast, so we resent it. But it is what it is. It pays the bills, and I'm back. And yeah, it was. I mean, there's a lot going on Raw right now, right? Ever since the whole Seth stuff, so we got a bit of an unravelment of that. Some other good stuff. I'm excited to talk about it. I'm not excited to be with you, but there you go. That's the way the cards have been dealt.
Now that's very mean because I gave you a very kind introduction, but things I can be kind about, there's things I can't be kind about, and that is the team that this gentleman chooses to root for every Sunday, Dallas Cowboys. Dez, I don't know why you do it, bro, but it's always a pleasure to have you. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, yeah. Family, bro. It's how it happened with the Cowboys. Yesterday, though, Monday Night Raw happened, and the Toronto Blue Jays are in the World Series. And now people are going to be like, but you're a Toronto fan? It's because when I was a kid, the Red Sox, they won the World Series. I did not want to be viewed as a bandwagon. So I watched baseball. I'm like, that Blue Jays team, love the logo, love the team, love the colors. Let's rock with it. And it paid off because we end the chip, baby. But Raw was a fantastic show. Excited to dive in.
For sure. And yes, the Blue Jays versus the Dodgers, Kendrick versus Drake, LA versus Toronto, all over again. Look how things happen. I thought as soon as you thought the beef was done, oh no.
We run it back.
Continue in baseball. So run it back, right? But man, let's get into it, man. We have a Monday Night Raw to talk about, and we're going to have to talk about the biggest topic that is upon all topics right now. It's this Seth Rollins title situation. Now, there is rumors and rumblings of what is happening. Obviously, Seth was out of commission a little bit before, right? People were presuming last time that, he's out, the leg injury, but what happened then? He cashed in, right? This time around, he is the world champion, possibly messed up his shoulder in the match against Cody Rhodes at Night of Champions. He is going to officially have to vacate his title. The title will be in a match coming up on Saturday Night Main Event. Me and Jordy's favorite commercial free. No, it's not commercial free. I'm sorry.
It's not commercial free. No,
it might be wrestling free, to be honest with you, but I digress. Yeah. CM Punk, who is the number 1 contender, going against a person we'll talk about later on tonight, winner of the Battle Royal. The big thing about this, though, is the star of the show, because we had Paul Heyman and we had The Vision. We had them cut a very interesting promo, I would say. I don't know the direction of it a lot. There's a lot of convoluted pieces to it, the reasoning, the vision upon it or whatnot. But the main thing is, with this Battle Royal, the Vision were removed from it, not being able to participate. Obviously, we'll talk about the winner later. But this kind of opened up the floodgates between me and Ben Allison, because this past Monday, if you weren't watching, and even last week, we had a sense of disagreement about Braun Breaker, who did carry the title into the venue last night, about him being the world champion. And I stand by it, by the way. I said he shouldn't be the world champion out the gate. I said I don't think he's ready to be the world champion out the gate. Matter of fact, if anybody in the vision was to be world champion, I'll probably pick Mr. Tsunami himself, Big Bronson Reed. But they weren't part of it. He doesn't get an opportunity. This caused a lot of controversy online yesterday because a lot of people did believe Braun Breaker should be in this match and he should have been in the Battle Royal. So I want to ask you guys, because I've talked about it in detail a lot about Braun Breaker. I'm curious to hear what y'all got to say about it. I will kick it off to you first, Jordy. What were your thoughts on the Vision being removed in the Battle Royal? Did you like it? Did you think it was the correct choice, or did you think it was just a whole bunch of hoopla?
No hoopla in this scenario. I'm very much behind it. I don't like take us being analysts and Wrestling Republic out of it or whatever. Look at it from a kayfabe perspective. People shouldn't just be allowed to knock out the world champion and then just take the belt. Like you know what I mean? Like this is not. It's not like ancient England. Like we're not killing kings to take the throne. Like that's not how it works in wrestling. As much as it would be great for storylines if that's how it worked, that is not how it works. You can't just injure the current champion and then you automatically become champion. I get it. You could maybe have argued that it was getting handed down to the Vision, but to do that and to play on that shtick, what you should have done is not injured him in such an obvious way. Like I spoke about this, I don't really understand why we didn't have a classic who done it. Do you know what I mean? A classic Seth gets injured, we don't know who it is. Has Cody turned heel? Have the Vision turned on him? Could it be someone else? Could it be Drew? I don't really understand why we didn't go down that route, but we are where we are. And because of that, I like that they got removed from the Battle Royale. I like that they've not just been handed the title because, like, Adam Pearce is well within his rights, right? He's GM. I wouldn't be having it if it was my gaff. If it was my show, I'd be like, no, like, I'm not rewarding you for injuring my champion. Don't be so ridiculous. You're not in the Battle Royale. You don't have a chance. You want to misbehave, like, you get the thing that you want taken away from you. You want to act like a kid, I'll treat you like one. So yeah, I'm kind of behind it. It kind of reminds me, it's a bit reminiscent of, do you remember when Rhea got injured, Liv Morgan injured Rhea? Everyone was like, Liv should just become champion, but it didn't. Becky became champion, and then Liv won it from Becky. And I'm behind that. I think that helped build to Liv winning it. I think it helps build a storyline. I don't think Braun at this, or Bronson for that matter, at this point in their career should just be handed a belt for the sake of it, unless it was a storyline thing. Like I said, we didn't know Seth, who injured Seth, so he hands it down to somebody in the Vision. That I would have accepted, but we didn't go down that route. We did it right in front of everyone. We broke up the group as we knew it. So I'm behind it. I don't know, man. Is Braun Breaker ready to be champion? Not right this second now. No. Could he be in a few months if we build a storyline? Is he got the technical ability in the ring? Yeah. Can he hold himself as a champion? People look at NXT, right, and they think, oh, this person has done it on NXT, so they can do it on the main roster. I love Tiffy Stratton, but she was a kind of an example of why that it doesn't necessarily just happen. It doesn't translate necessarily in the same way. It depends on how they're booked. It depends on how they become champion. It depends on how they win it. So much other stuff. So jury's still out on Braun Breaker for me, but I'm glad that they didn't just hand him it for the sake of it.
And that is exactly where I am in full agreement with you on. Like, I think the Stratton example is pretty much where I'm at with it too. It's like we see the untapped potential there, right? But it doesn't mean it's ready. You know, like, you don't just throw people in the Shark Tank and expect them to be able to, like, swim away from all the sharks. You know, like, it's one of those situations, like, you don't need to rush it. And my main point was this: was obviously there is a timetable when they want him to be world champion. Let that still be the timetable. Just divert the story, but still let that story lead to that. And to what you mentioned, I think it's the best point. I think when he wins it, it should be when he is ready to that point and when the moment makes a little bit more sense. But I mean, a lot of people, the big conversation point online I saw yesterday was the age aspect, right? And it's the fact that WWE, a lot of people believe that they're tending to give, you know, apparently there's like a stat, like nobody in the 90s has ever been a world champion on the men's side, apparently, right?
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
So it's kind of one of those type of situations. I'm gonna read a couple comments, and then I want to actually get your thoughts on that point, Des, because I think that is an interesting stat, and it is something a little bit concerning that could be a bigger problem. But we got to give our fact of the day because DCX Warlord is letting us know 4 years ago today, Zelina Vega and Woods became king and queen of the ring. Bro, I remember that whole build to it. I remember that whole moment. I remember the moment for Woods in particular because that was a dream of his. He always wanted to be king of the ring. Yeah, so that was a big time moment. Yes, that was a big time moment. I thought Zelina Vega did a great job as queen of the ring, like being Queen Zelina with the British accent. When she was a heel, I thought that was good stuff. Crazy. It's been 4 years though. Time.
All right, it's flying, man.
Time be flying
so quick.
Flying by, and then we got the homie podcast grifter with a bunch of comments, a couple stuff going at Ben. But he did agree with you saying it was the right thing. Heck, he would go with the Bronze taking the new tag champs team AJ Lee, as they like to call him. And he says, yeah, have Braun get the slow, organic, solid build with Heyman. That's another thing, too. I think we need to clean them up a little bit as characters. I think they're a little muddy right now. I don't think they have I don't see them as that, but I want to know your thoughts. Everything tied with them being removed to the Battle Royal, and do you think it was the right choice?
Yeah, I think it's the right choice. I agree with you guys. Listen to the podcast yesterday. It was a great show. You can find it on the Wrestling Republic page down below. You guys made good points, and I agree. If Braun Breaker is going to win and needs to be big, for me, if it was Braun Breaker, CM Punk at Saturday night's main event, it's a Saturday night main event, right? This is a match I feel like that should happen at Survivor Series. And I believe this is the path they're going to go on because what I think is going to happen, and this is like no spoilers, this is just my head, a lot of people believe that Sami Zayn is in line to either win the Royal Rumble or win the World Heavyweight Championship. And I 100% agree. And if we build Braun Breaker up to be that really, that badass that he is and that monster he is, then it really makes Sami Zayn's championship win. I know people are going to be like, oh, Sami Zayn, whatever. But it makes his championship win even bigger to that point. I just don't want to see Jey Uso and Braun Breaker. They've already done it so many times. They've done for the Intercontinental Championship. So I feel like you get Punk win, then you have him face Braun Breaker at Survivor Series. But yeah, the Battle Royal, it was fun. I like the choice too. The promo was, like I said, it was kind of weird. They were trying to justify getting rid of the division. I know we're going to talk about later with Becky and Paul. I thought that was phenomenal personally. But yeah, I really see a lot of big things for Braun Breaker, man. I said on this show a few months ago, he will be talked about in the next 10 years the same way we talk about Roman Reigns and John Cena. I just believe that he's going to be such a mega superstar. Right now, I agree with you, Shad. Bronson Reed, he's doing his thing, man, right? He beat Roman Reigns. He's already beat Seth Rollins. He's already beat up CM. Well, he hasn't beat Punk in the match, but beat up CM Punk. He's being showcased as a really big talent, and he deserves it because he's fantastic. But yeah, this was definitely the right call, getting rid of the division in the Battle Royal.
No doubt about that, man. And I do think that we will see a big moment for these guys, the Brawns, at some point. Them versus Team AJ Lee. That is funny. That is a name. That is a name.
That is pretty funny, though.
That is a good segue because let's talk about Team AJ Lee. AJ Styles, Dragon Lee versus the Judgment Day. Fun fact, my guys. 111 days as champions. 2 title defenses.
That is not a fun fact. That's a very not fun fact.
Right, it's an unfun fact.
We're talking about off of the brinks of these two guys being champions before, with another long run that didn't have many title defenses. They lost. That's the good part about it. That's the great part about it, that there's a new champs. I have to say this before we get to Team AJ Lee because, my goodness, man, what Clark say? What are we doing? Right? Isn't that his little slogan? What are we doing?
What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Finn Balor and JD McDonough are just, they are too talented of superstars to not be regular mainstays in wrestling more often than they do. That's just the truth of it, man. I actually would argue to say I thought they were, like, title defenses lack of aside, I like them as a tag team. I think they got chemistry, obviously being a faction, having history together as JD and, kind of coming up, learning from Finn. Also, I think stylistically, I think they're a good tag team. I think JD McDonough to me is one of the most underrated in-ring performers
easily
in the WWE. Like, that dude puts his life on the line. And for the fact that, like, I got to give props to the OG, old school WWE ref, friend of the show, man, huge pop. If you're not familiar, him and Donnie, Jimmy Corderas, well, he said they need to bring back the 30-day rule of title defenses that Vince used to have. If you're a champion, like, you have to defend the title in a 30-day standpoint to at least add some sort of matches or whatnot. So to that, man, I hope that is the direction. But AJ Styles, man, this is his last year, his last run. He gets gold. I'm excited for it, but I'm also a little confused by it. Just because I feel like there's a lot of tag teams in the WWE that are actual tag teams. You talk about the Creed brothers, talk about the Street Profits, you talk about Jordy's favorite tag team, Raise Your Fists, right? And you talk about, like, just a whole bunch of other teams, DIY. While we are going to a makeshift tag team where I don't really know what AJ Styles and Dragon Lee have anything in common, maybe besides that they both were hoopers in New Japan at some time, but not at the same time. It's hella random, but I'm here for it. I think Dragon Lee having gold is dope. I'm curious to say what you guys think about it, Des. How do you feel about Styles and Dragon Lee being our champions?
I'm here for it, man. You said it perfectly. The Judgment Day, this is no shade on Finn, JD, Roxanne, Raquel, Liv. Every time since Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley have left the Judgment Day, they win the titles. Oh, and Dominic too. And then they don't defend it. Like, they just focus on their own solo feuds, right? You had Dominic, who was busy with the Intercontinental Championship. When he was with Liv Morgan, right? It's just a championship that's just there that has no prestige, no value. Because, like, yeah, Finn and JD, they're putting on great matches. The matches they had where they won it back from the War Raiders, where they lost to the New... did they lose? Yeah, they lost to the New Day as well, and they lost to AJ Lee. It's like, they have to do something. And if this is what it takes, if AJ Styles and Dragon Lee is what it takes to get that Raw Tag Team division up and running, fine, man, all right? Sometimes... look at AEW, right? We were praising it, Bro Dito, right? It was something that fell in the laps of AEW, and it's worked out flawlessly. If this is the same direction WWE is going to go in, fine. Look at SmackDown, man. We already talked about it. Before, it was a division that had some of the best matches. Now, that division's starting to have more storylines, right? WWE, if they're not going to utilize the Creed brothers, the New Day, the War Raiders, Alpha Academy, any of those teams, we got to do a change-up. We got to do a shake-up. We got to have some of these teams from SmackDown to go on to Raw, because the SmackDown Tag Team division is just blowing Raw out of the water. So if it takes AJ Lee, Styles, and Dragon Lee for them to really, hype up this division, similar to when they added Andrade and Rey Fenix on SmackDown, it's fine, man. They need something, because it's just the same formula over and over again. A tag team beats JD, JD gets it back. JD does nothing with the belt, they lose it. Look at the New Day. The New Day had all the momentum in the world, and they did nothing with it. The War Raiders, they're cool, but I gotta say, they're not really up there in terms of fan interaction, in terms of, like, charisma. So they're just a makeshift, they're just a placeholder of a tag team. They really gotta do their jobs to build up this tag division, and there's teams to work with. I just don't understand.
Well said, bro.
Let them know, bro.
What up?
I said, let them know, bro.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Yeah, you was spinning right there. You said, let them know. Nah, man, it's true. Like, I agree with the standpoint that there needs to be more of a balance on specific divisions. Raw has, like, a overstacked women's division. SmackDown has a thin women's division. SmackDown has an overstacked tag division. Raw has a thin tag division. So it is going to be interesting. We do have this is a fun fact. I don't know. Now, don't quote me, because I don't know if this is real truth to it. But he says, fun fact, AJ Styles. Well, it got to be true, because I'm looking at his profile picture, so he wouldn't lie about that. Fun fact, AJ Styles won his second and last TNA titles 12 years ago, and he won his tag team titles this year on the same day. That is interesting, man. He must have done that deliberately.
Possibly.
Possibly. Who knows? But what I do know is we are going to have to take a break from the topics for a quick second because we got some other stuff that we want to talk about. And that is the good stuff going on at Wrestling Republic. If you aren't commenting, subscribing to everything on this page, there's something wrong with you. But if you are, you should know this week we have a lot of great shows coming on. If you haven't already, yesterday, the newest episode of the Wrestling Republic weekly podcast dropped. Myself, Clark, and Ben talked about Andrade. We talked about Sami Zayn losing his U.S. title. We talked about AEW events, and we gave you our factions of the week. If you haven't already, watch today Allison analysis and find the 5 key findings that he saw last week in pro wrestling. Coming up this week, we have the top 10 wrestlers under 30. And Friday, we have our top 5 takes of the week. You will find stuff that potentially holds on from today's episode. From other episodes, it's always fun. To the right, you can find our weekly schedule. You can see all the great podcasters on our team that will be on for the rest of the week. We got a lot of great stuff going on here. So please, please, please make sure you are supporting us. And also, if you haven't already, subscribe to the second channel, Wrestling Republic Undercard. This is where we have all of our exclusive videos, clip shows, standalone shows that we have, like Grappling for Position, Wrestling Republic Off the Air. Man, we have a lot of stuff going on there as well. So make sure you are tapped into that. Now let's get back to the show because we got to talk about the GOAT, the greatest women's wrestler of all time, Miss Becky Lynch, going against a very, very talented young lady, I must say. And I got to give her props because this is someone who I think has maybe took the world of pro wrestling by storm in the last 3 weeks, maybe, going against Becky Lynch. Someone, I will be honest with you, I didn't know her game as a wrestler that well. She didn't wrestle so often. When she did, I can't say she wowed me a whole lot. But she's done some great stuff, man. And that is Miss Maxine Dupree getting her match for the Intercontinental title against Becky Lynch. She did beat Becky Lynch a couple weeks ago to get this match via count out. She gets a win technically via DQ against Maxine Dupree. This ends up in that way, and it has me super, super intrigued because does this mean Maxine Dupree may be the one that has Becky Lynch's opportunity to get that belt off of her? Is this going to be a Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston type of moment for Maxine Dupree? Well, I got to ask Jordy in the bank because he might have the answers for that. Jordy, let me get your thoughts on a match in the direction of this feuds. And do you think we get that third and final showdown where Maxine gets her moment? Because I'm not going to lie to you, bro. There's one thing that she has, and that's the crowd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's had me for a while. Like, this is one thing that I wanted to say. And I feel like I have been one, not to defend. In fact, no, not. And I wasn't defending against anybody at WR here, but I've always kind of seen that there's something. Maxine has got something that there's something that almost can't be taught, like the wrestling, the in-ring stuff that can be taught to an extent. Of course, you get people that are natural to it. That happens with anything, but the kind of technical ability that can be taught. There's a star quality, I think, that Maxine Dupree has and has always had that is just the crowd can't help get behind. She plays a character really, really well. She reacts really, really well. And that was always the case when she was kind of in a managerial role. But now she's taken that ability to act and react into the ring with a solid technical ability. And the reason I said defended is it doesn't feel like that long ago that, do you remember she had a match against Rhea Ripley and there was a couple of things that didn't go necessarily to plan and the internet killed her to the point where like female WWE wrestlers were coming out and defending Maxine publicly and being like, you need to give her a break. Like, she's fairly new to this. And now to see where she's at, putting on these great matches, I just think that she's got the brightest future in WWE. I honestly do. I can see so many things with her being an integral part of it. This being one of them, I do believe that there will be a third match. I don't know when it is. And I think this storyline plays into some other stuff as well with Becky, which I'll touch on. But one of the examples, and I know this because they're great friends outside the ring, but I can imagine a Chelsea Green and Maxine Dupree tag run that will get so popular and would do wonders for the female tag division, just because I think them two would just strike on something that would be brilliant. I think they'd have chemistry. I can see so much potential for Maxine now. She's nailed that kind of in-ring stuff. And yes, she is working with one of the greatest, that is Becky Lynch. And this is what I was going to say about building on the storyline for Becky. I almost see it as Becky saw Maxine as an easy hurdle to get over after taking the loss against AJ Lee and Punk, and it's like, I need to rebuild my confidence a bit. You know, like classic boxing move, right? And I'm gonna get an easy win. And then she's just come up against Maxine, who has not been that at all. The crowd are immensely behind her. I said this last week. It does remind me of Chad Gable and Gunther when Chad counted out Gunther, and everyone was so behind Chad Gable to win the IC title. Now, I don't know if Maxine will beat Becky for the IC title. I don't know if they're going to strap that much of a rocket to the back, but I think that even if Becky wins, Maxine's already won in this feud. She's already put on a display of wrestling that I think has impressed so many people that we want to see more.
Yes, and I'm here to make my prediction. I think Maxine Dupree is going to be the next Intercontinental Champion. Okay. I think she has earned her opportunity to be the IC champion because, one, Becky Lynch no longer needs to be the IC champion. She has added a level of prestige to the title. I think her being the champion is made for whoever takes it off of her becomes a bigger star, and that becomes a bigger accomplishment and hurdle. What these two women have done, they've given us a story, and they've given us the perfect, like, superhero, like the underdog versus the bad guy type of dynamic. Becky has, like, I call her the GOAT, and I truthfully mean that. She does her job and her role as a wrestler better than a lot of people in the company do. She knows how to help people progress and get people over and being that bad guy. She has people hating her right now, and you have people loving Maxine and rooting and cheering for Maxine Dupree, who is a valet and a manager before all of this, and having people really getting behind her to want her to beat a Hall of Famer. So, like, to me, I think Maxine, to her credit, I think she's kind of got the people eating from the palm of her hands for that moment. Whether it's a long run, whether it's a short run, I don't know. But regardless,
could AJ Lee play a part in kind of helping Maxine win that
think she
title?
will.
And then this is the question. Just leading off of that, would that then lead to a Team AJ versus Team Becky War Games? And could that be the route that we're heading down?
I don't know about that, to be honest.
I mean, it could. I think the War Games match should center around Asuka and the Kabuki Warriors versus Rhea. It's going to be a hodgepodge of people. We'll probably see AJ Lee and Becky. Honestly, AJ Lee might be the force that evens out the numbers and has Maxine to beat Becky, and then AJ and Becky continue their feud. They don't need a title. AJ Lee doesn't.
No, of course, that's what I mean. Yeah. They don't need a title. They could have a War Games where they build a team and then go on to eventually have a singles payoff.
And this goes to my point. Maxine has to win the title. Actually, it's not a matter of she will. She has to win it because you have her get a DQ loss just now, and you have her win by count out. This has to be the route. If she loses, it doesn't help her out at it. The fact that we're going to potentially go to a third, rubber match, she has to win it. So to me, I have that being the end result. I think Becky can go ahead and go to the main title picture. I think that's the perfect opponent for Stephanie Vaquer to go against.
Not even a rubber match, technically, is it? Maxine's 2-0.
Yeah, she is
true.
cool, though,
When you but she just doesn't have a belt to show for
but
it.
I mean, she's got to get a fair fight, and you can.
Does it have to be an ODQ match? Is that again? Is Maxine going to show us a different string to a bow and be like, "Hey, look, you know I'm good in the ring. I can also throw myself through a table as well. I've added that to my game."
Possible. It's possible.
All right, I do want to get some comments, and then we're gonna talk about the main event that happened last night. But we got the homie Tiger Laga saying Maxine went so far managing a failed modeling agency to managing the All-American Regents, not referencing the band. Oh man, that's funny. And then facing the best women's wrestler in the game today. That is true. This is a comment I want to read though. Chelsea Green and Maxine won't work. Ego's too big to handle. Who cares what Matt Cardona wants to do?
They're literally best friends. Like they're literally best friends.
I don't agree with that.
Who cares? I want to talk about that last statement. Matt Cardona got no pull to make anything happen.
No, of course, and he wouldn't care. They're literally best friends.
Yeah, but he ain't got pull like that. Why are we giving Matt Cardona that much pull, bro?
Who? No, I'm joking. Yeah. I've got nothing against Matt. But when it comes to booking WWE, it's nothing to do with it.
Look, Crybaby Cardona just wants to come back over here. It's all good, man. Anyways, I digress. And then, out of doubt, today is National Pumpkin Cheesecake Day. Wow, that's a very
that's a weird combination. Yeah,
it's a thing within a thing, right?
Right.
It's probably amazing, to be honest with you.
Probably
not knocking it, bro.
Talk about the main event, guys, because 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet.
Oh, I should have done that sync.
I know we should have done it. It's all good. Justin Timberlake will yell at us. Jey Uso, CM Punk, Saturday night's main event. Jey Uso is our winner for the Battle Royal last night. And I loved this Battle Royal. I love the finish. And I love the things that led to the finish. I think you covered so many bases with so many different avenues of stars in it. So many different storylines within storylines. The dynamic of Jey knocking out Jimmy, LA Knight and Jey having their beef. And at the end, Jey and Punk facing off. This is a big time match for Saturday night's main event. And I'm someone who never, ever just lost faith in Jey Uso. I feel like I've kind of been a Jey Uso apologist for quite a while now. I think the guy's super talented. I think he's got a knack of charisma. And I think he's got a star power that has been carrying the company a lot in a big way this past calendar year. But I love the character arc that we're going with. I love the cracks and breaks we're seeing a little bit, right? You're seeing a little bit of heel tendencies. It adds a lot of curiosity, potential that may happen. And this is a big time match, man. Punk, someone that, we're all waiting for him to have a title run. This may be it. But it really has you wondering and questioning what is the result going to be for that. Will Jey go full on heel? Will Jey join the Vision? We don't know. So I'm curious to see what y'all think. I'll start with you first, Jordy. What are your thoughts on the Battle Royal? And obviously, I know you're also sad too because our boy LA Knight. When is it going to happen? Probably not.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride, my friend. It just seems like that, done it with LA Knight. I did think to myself, could this be the opportunity? But I feel like CM Punk's going to win the title anyway. So I think even if he won the Battle Royale, it wasn't going to happen for LA Knight. I'm surprised that they're not leaning on it and kind of utilizing the fact that LA Knight has been intrinsic with this whole CM Punk, Jey Uso. He's been the third part, right? So I'm kind of shocked that they didn't just go for a triple threat. But hey, we got a Battle Royale out of it. I'm always up for a Battle Royale. Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. The only way Punk doesn't win is if Jey Uso turns heel. And yeah, he has had these tendencies. He is, on the back of Roman's kind of motivation, right? He's the one that pushing him in this direction. And then throwing Jimmy out. Not having that as the finish was definitely a choice as well, by the way. That was going for the kind of fake 619 and then him throwing Dominic out. Yeah, I'm excited for the match. I really am, because I'm as much as I said, like, and listen, I want Punk to have a title run as much as the next person. But when I'm watching this match at Saturday night's main event, I am gonna have that thing in the back of my mind that this whole time, like, is Jay gonna turn? And that's good for a match. I mean, we'll probably, who knows? Maybe he'll turn heel during an ad break, and we'll come back and we'll be none the wiser. But I am excited for this match. I'm excited for either Jay to get his title back. The only way for him to do that is for him to turn heel. I'm excited to see what happens there. The other outcome is, of course, CM Punk finally gets that run that he's been vowing to get since he came back, and obviously he got a little taste of it and then got cashed in on. Yeah, so I'm excited for the match, and if I had to call it, I'd probably still go with Punk.
Yeah, it's a tough one because these are both my guys, man. I'm a big fan of both of them. I feel like Punk is definitely due to be the champion. I think this has kind of been the direction after Rollins went out. Who knows? Maybe it was a direction against Rollins too, obviously with their rich history against each other. So it's gonna be one to really try to. I don't know. I like the fact that they set it up because it's an avenue. It's a lot of star power between both of these guys, and you might be splitting hairs on it. The IWC is not a real place, by the way, guys. The fans like Jey Uso. Matter of fact, they love Jey Uso. Jey Uso doesn't get booed at all, but it can be an interesting way to build a character arc. Daz, I'll throw the question to you too, man. What are your thoughts on the main event last night and in the direction of Jey Uso versus Punk as we go to Saturday night main event?
All right, first things first, we're going to talk about Jey Uso because just to show the crowd, they love Jey Uso. The IWC, they do not like Jey Uso. If you guys do not know, it is one of the most disliked videos in WWE's YouTube page right now. People complain that Jey Uso is being shoved down our throats. My brethren, Roman Reigns was shoved down our throats. You want to talk about shoved down our throats? Roman Reigns was in a title picture for over 4 years. We're talking before the tribal chief. You want to talk about shoved down our throats? Jey Uso has been the top guy for not even a year. It's been 10 months. So in the words of Clark, knock it off. In the words of Ben, come off of it, all right? This makes total sense to have Jey Uso win. It progresses the story. I am going to say this, and one of my coworkers brought this up. He feels like this is going to end in a no contest. And I'm telling you, if that happens, this will be a really bad choice. That will be the one moment where I'm like, why are we doing this, right? Because at that point, let's just have Punk win. I think Punk winning is the right call, in my honest opinion, because now if Punk wins, Jey Uso is going to be like, I lost, right? And if, let's say, Jimmy Uso gets involved in it, then he's going to be like, well, why'd you cost me the championship, man? He's like, I'm just being in your corner. You know, we're brothers. And then that could start building Jey Uso probably either turning on Jimmy or just getting more and more frustrated to the point where he just, you know, focuses on family, similar to how Roman Reigns was before. But yeah, Punk, he should win. There's rumors, and nothing's confirmed. Nothing's confirmed, all right? No spoilers. But there's rumblings about A-Town Down showing up, right? And if they go that route, I really hope it's not no contest, right? If you want to do it after, do it after. Do not do it during the match, all right? Have Punk win, or if you want, have Jey Uso win. It's just, if we're going to run Jey Uso and Braun Breaker again, I've already seen that multiple times. Doing Punk and Braun Breaker, or Punk versus anybody else, to be honest with you, because what I feel like with CM Punk is this is a placeholder. Because what I think is going to happen is, this is just a prediction, Cody is going to face Punk at WrestleMania next year for the WWE Championship. So I'm curious to know who's going to beat Punk and who's going to get that championship back. But for this one right here, I'm excited. Hopefully the heel turn, like you said, does not happen during the ads. Hopefully there's not a lot of ads at all, to be honest. And I hope they just have a good match. If you want to have Punk win, just let Punk win. Or also, no one should turn, by the way. Just have Punk win, and then that's it. If you want to do the turn after, do it. Don't do it for the shock factor. Do it for the sense if it makes sense in the story.
Yeah, I mean, there has been so many. First and foremost, let me say this.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let it be known. Austin Theory does not need to join the Vision. Austin Theory should not join the Vision. Austin Theory should have turned babyface with the dynamic and storyline with Grayson Waller. You had a silver platter for that. So for him to just go ahead and join the Vision, I am tired of it. I'm sick and tired of them trying to just push Austin Theory into a position that he shouldn't have to do. He's not a heel, guys. Like, he can, like, his look, man, his money is this, like, funny, goofy, dumb guy, like he was with the Way. You know, if he's gonna be a heel, like, that's just kind of what it has been the avenue. But anyways, I digress on that. The Jey Uso aspect to it. I mean, there has been not rumors, but I've heard people pitch the idea of him becoming his own tribal chief potentially.
That could happen. I'm cool with that.
You know, winning the World Heavyweight Champion.
You need a tribe.
Division.
Cody did say that. Maybe. I don't know.
You can't just be a chief on your own with no tribe.
What about the Vision?
Maybe. I don't know.
Braun tanned himself enough. He could look Samoan.
You're not wrong,
I think
mate.
Braun's a good leader, to be honest with you. I think he can be a good leader. Not right now. He's like in a more Jacob Fatu role. Or like the Solo Sikoa role. Kind of like that.
Yeah, man. We got some comments, though, I do want to read, because we got, are they building to Roman, Jay, and Jimmy at Mania 42?
Maybe.
Triple threat.
For the title?
I felt like it was going to be Seth and Roman. But now that Seth's her, it's like, well, actually, we'll see. But I think Seth is likely going to be out.
It could be. I mean, if it's to your point, you said that you think it's potentially going to be Cody and Punk. If Punk is still champion, it could be Punk and Roman. That's always an avenue you can go to.
I wouldn't hate it. Of course, with the favor. Well, to be fair, the favor I don't think matters as much anymore, right?
The favor's done, right?
Yeah, the favor's done. So what would the story... Yeah, I don't know.
Just for the title. Just for the title, and then, I mean, they can make a story. So
yeah, you're right.
We'll see what happens, though, man. But that is all the time we do have today. Thank you guys, as always, in the comments for engaging with us, watching, sharing, liking. We'll be back same time tomorrow, Wednesday, Newsday. We will be talking about what's going on in the world of pro wrestling. And if you don't have anything to do tonight, we are going to talk about Halloween Havoc. We got a prediction show, as well as reviewing what's going on NXT. NXT off the air 5-10 minutes after NXT is done. Myself, Clark Drizzy. You don't want to miss it. My name is Shad Talks Grabs. This is Jordy in the Bank. This is Dez. We will catch y'all later tonight, and we'll catch y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good one, man. Take care. Peace.